We're live? Are we live?
Hello, this is from Milwaukee to
Okay,
Nashville.
we're live.
I'm Daniel DeMo. This is Christopher Draves. We are now streaming on Facebook and YouTube.
So subscribe to us on YouTube.
Follow
It's
us on Facebook.
From Mill Space to Nash or to Nashville. Like for whatever reason, that's how you got to search in our YouTube. It's From Mill, one word, and then space to Nash. You got to capitalize each word. I did it yesterday. Yeah, I got to fix it.
Yeah, we got to fix our page.
Quit doing it. You screwed with me.
How
did I end up from that to...
So this one is backwards.
Yeah, now you didn't mess with my head. I keep bouncing from side to side. You're going to screw it, people. We're having some fun because we're going back on YouTube. So, yeah.
All right. So, Hockey News did
Should I say it or do you want to say it?
You can say it and then I'll say my piece.
Congratulations to the Charlotte Checkers, your 29 Calder Cup champions.
Actually, I give a big congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for beating the Wolves, by the way.
Yes.
I only said it's what's that word?
The other one's the hurtful one, but
yeah, because Charlotte did beat the Wolves, so that's a good thing. Whenever Chicago fails at something, I take great joy.
Actually, I was going to say I am very happy for one of their players, Zach Stortini. He's a two-time former Admiral. He played for us. He was drafted by the Players, played from 2003 to 2006. And then from 2010 to 2011.
I'm only bummed out about it because it wasn't the Admirals playing for the Calder Cup.
Come on, you got to bring out your inner Dolph Ziggler. It should have been us.
Yeah. Anyways, congratulations to the St. Louis Blues winning their very first Stanley Cup by defeating the Boston Bruins 4-1 in Game 7.
Way to go. It took you 52 years.
It was 5-1 in Game 7.
Way to go. It took you 52 years.
No, 50. It was 51 years.
They were a WHL team at one point in time.
It don't matter. NHL, it's only been like 50 years. But they won their first Stanley Cup last night, defeating Boston. I can't remember the score. Was 4-1 or 5-1. But I had a tear in my eye only because that was literally the last hockey game until September. I'll settle for exhibition hockey at this point.
Yep.
Where's the Olympics at? I need hockey to watch. Don't make me go back and watch old games.
Well, we pretty much have to start watching.
Dude, do I have to watch a documentary about a team I don't care about like I did last year? Yeah, last offseason, I was so desperate for hockey, I watched a documentary about the Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't care about Pittsburgh.
Last year, I watched the one about the this last offseason. I watched the one on Russia.
When they had lost the Miracle on Ice game?
Yep.
Well, that must have been a good documentary because I heard all documentaries about the Miracle on Ice were good.
Except for the movie.
I haven't seen a bad one. I haven't seen the movie, so I can't judge it.
Anyway, they have this who will be next to win their first ever Stanley Cup by Ryan Kennedy from Hockey News or The Hockey News. He put it as he has it listed, and here's my number. The first team he believes will win is Vegas. Then it goes Winnipeg, Nashville,
San Jose.
And here's the thing. Between Nashville, Winnipeg, and Vegas, he said the same thing. There's nothing on paper saying they can't win it.
Yeah, because Vegas and Nashville does have a good team.
So
on paper, they should have won it this year.
And then they have the San Jose Sharks, who are on the last of the win now mode.
Yeah, because they have a bunch of aging veterans that are probably going to retire within the next 4 years.
So the big problem for them this year is Pavelski's contract's up, Erik Karlsson's contract's up, and they're in cap trouble.
Yeah, Burns too. Ain't he getting sort of toward the end of his contract as well?
Yeah, his is up next year.
But he's toward the end. They might want to try to lock these guys up, or they're going to go bye-bye.
Kind of like Columbus is having that issue.
Yeah, but Columbus, I think it's more of an
also they got Logan Couture, so it's like, do you keep young? Do you keep old? What do you do? We're not GMs, folks. I play one on video games, but that don't make me one.
Yeah, we're what you call armchair GMs.
Anyway,
we sit on our butt and we talk GM stuff. We're armchair GMs. You're an armchair podcast host. Look at you sitting in your recliner. Will you quit doing it? You keep screwing with me. Hey, knock it off.
Anyway, after
you
that,
guys might see this show get violent.
Anyway, fifth he has the Florida Panthers, and sixth he has Vancouver. Then he has Columbus, which Columbus they're
not that far away. If you think about it, Columbus,
if they keep their team together.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's more of an organizational issue, not really a salary cap issue. There's issues within that locker room that are causing players to want to leave. There's issues with their GM. Bobrovsky obviously wants to leave because there's issues between him and the organization. So I think it's the organization's handicapping Columbus. Because they get good turnouts when we watch a Columbus game on TV. They always have a good crowd at their arena. Yeah, Blue Jackets. That's the right team. Okay, I stopped myself for a second. I thought I was going to call them the wrong team.
Yeah, well, people used to call them the BJs.
Yeah. Anyways, then next on that list is the Sabres after the Blue Jackets.
The Sabres, and I'm going to say this as a part-time Sabres.
They're wasting Eichel.
Eichel's still only 21 years old.
But they're still wasting him now.
Doesn't matter. He's not in his prime yet.
It don't matter. He's still getting wasted. They're not doing anything to build around him.
Yeah, they are. They got Rasmus Dahlin in the last draft, and they just signed Skinner to a long-term deal. So they are slowly building around him. Okay. They're just waiting for the rest of their prospects to catch up.
Yeah. Who knows if that'll happen? Because, hey, prospects are suspects until they prove themselves otherwise. Because we have a lot of suspects that we're going to be watching at the suspect camp in Nashville. We won't be there live, but we'll be paying attention to it.
So, like the same thing with Ottawa. They've got some
Ottawa's
stuff.
Just a dumpster fire. I mean,
to be honest, as much as people hate on Ottawa does have a few players to build around, like Thomas Chabot.
Are they actually going to build around them? They don't seem like they're trying to build around them.
They have Thomas Chabot, Brady Tkachuk, and Eric Brandstrom. They do need help in the goaltending department really bad. Yeah. But we'll see if they take Spencer Knight here to this year.
Who are they projected to pick up in the draft?
I'll get to that
one of these mock drafts.
I'll take a look at that when I get to the draftsite.com. But then they have Arizona. Arizona has a good team, but they don't have
a city that wants them. They're actually in the process of leaving.
It's pretty much the city said, hey, you guys aren't getting – this is not a hockey town.
No,
never has been.
It's a baseball town. It's a spring training town.
It's a spring training, baseball, and football, and maybe the Diamondbacks.
I wouldn't even say football. Have you seen how empty Arizona Cardinals Stadium is during a Cardinals game? Dude, it's a baseball state. It's spring training. That's their bread and butter.
And the last team he has winning one is Minnesota, based on the fact that they're stuck. What they are truly stuck, caught in the middle of a mushy middle of the NHL right now. The Wild aren't good enough to contend it for a long playoff run.
But they're not horrible.
But they're too good to fall off the map and rebuild.
Yeah, because the Wild do have a lot of young guys that are good. It's just they're handicapped by these two stupid long-term contracts that the previous regime signed. Ryan Suter and Zach Parise.
Now the big problem.
But I don't think Suter's living up to the contract that he's getting paid.
Well, the one thing I did look into for the Wild, and I did want to talk about this, and this was something that I thought about when the Predators fans were mad at him. Suter wanted a no-trade clause. He got it with Minnesota. Parise wanted a no-trade clause with New Jersey. He got it with Minnesota. Yeah. These two have almost 15 million wrapped up in cap space by themselves.
Yeah.
And then
they both looking at about between 9 and 10 each a year.
7.5 per year.
But still, that's a lot of money wrapped up in 2 guys, especially in a league where the salary cap's not high at all.
So when you
pay hockey players more,
the salary. Well, the thing is if you pay hockey players more, ticket prices for all of hockey go up.
Yeah, but ticket prices for hockey are insanely expensive in the first place. And
not compared to the NBA.
Are still getting paid crap.
Not compared to the NBA, not compared to the NFL, not compared to some Major League Baseball teams.
I suppose I should start looking at it that way. I suppose
because to go to the.
But if you think about to go to a Brewer game, it's not that expensive. You and me paid what? What was that, like $75 a ticket for that Wild game?
Yeah, but here's the thing with that: it was a rivalry conference game.
Yeah, a divisional game.
Or it was a divisional game. They are somewhat rivals.
Well, they're divisional
friendly rivals.
It's a divisional rivalry. You're right.
It's not like pure hatred like we have with them.
Prices even on the secondary market are insanely expensive.
The thing about it is to get a seat at a Bucks game to sit upstairs is $75.
Yeah, no, we paid about that to sit upstairs for the Wild Predator game in Minnesota.
And you're still and in a hockey, a higher view is a better view sometimes.
Yeah, like you and me did you ever complain about that view?
No,
we had a.
But could you imagine that view at a basketball game?
Yeah, good point.
So my problem is I'm spending $75 for a bad view. For baseball,
but then again, you're more emotionally attached to hockey than you are basketball.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that.
I'm more emotionally attached to hockey than I am basketball.
But if we were to pay $75 for a Brewer ticket, we're sitting front row.
You're damn right.
or at least in the lower level,
or pretty damn close. We'll be in the field level of Miller Park easily.
But to sit upstairs, that's still $20 for an okay view. But imagine thinking that $20 upstairs ain't bad either. But if you're thinking about it, you got a small arena, you got to maximize your profits. So as far as hockey having a small,
and if you also think about it too, authentic NHL jerseys are about the same price as an authentic baseball jersey.
Yeah,
because I was looking at the last Brewer game I went to. I was looking at the prices of authentic baseball jerseys, and they're about the same price as an authentic hockey jersey.
About $175.
Yeah, they're about the same price, pretty close.
The replicas are about $100.
Yeah, $150 depending on who the replica is.
And then your authentics are around $200 to $300. So yeah, it's not entirely bad.
So I suppose I should stop griping and just look at it this way. But, dude, the fact that Zdeno Chara played a good chunk of the Stanley Cup final with a broken jaw, that just shows that he's worth money.
All right, so we move on.
Did you guys not see Zdeno Chara take that puck off the face? I did.
All right, so now we move to Fansided. It's a website for all you hockey fans that talk about the ifs, ands, and whats.
What part of the show are we talking about now?
Off-season. David Polio's trickiest off-season yet.
Is it Poile?
All right, so I'm going to be bluntly honest.
Get rid of that.
I'm going to be bluntly honest here.
You're always bluntly honest.
For all of you who want Matt Duchene, it is now or never. If they don't do it, he ain't never coming. Just leave it at that.
Yeah. Don't hold your breath, guys. Just be happy with who we have. We have a good team.
Here's the thing.
Maybe this new coach will help snap people out of it. Because we do have a new assistant coach, and maybe he'll snap our power play out of that stupid funk they were hurt all year by.
All right. So here's the thing. In order to get Duchene, they are going to have to cut somebody loose. Whether it be Bonino, PK, Smith, Turris, somebody.
I'd say Bonino and try to keep Yossi and Eckel here.
And
unless they get a nice little ransom for those guys.
Well, my thing is say you get rid of Bonino and Turris in a trade, or Bonino and Craig Smith. That's $8 million right there alone.
If they get rid of those guys, what would our salary be? Like remaining salary cap if we got rid of those two.
Whoops.
Told you this show's going to take a while because we have a lot of stuff to touch on. Not to mention, seeing how we are on YouTube as well as Facebook. Gotta try to get people to like our YouTube page as well.
Check all
and that's going to
stuff.
keep screwing with me. Like when you bounce between the two camera views, either I'm on right side or the
What's
left
up, Andrew? Yeah, we have our
Andy.
YouTube page back. I will post a link to each video still on our page in case you want to, put the phone down, and you don't have to have your screen on to hear us on YouTube. So that's another.
Well, sometimes you do,
depending on what phone you have.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it this one? That's
like us on YouTube, guys. Or wait until we publish this on our Facebook page. Click on it. It'll take you to our YouTube page, and then you can subscribe it there.
Hit the bell. Hit the bell. It'll notify you every time we go live.
Also, tonight after we do our pod, I'm going to make sure it's easier for you to guys search us because I was kind of tired last night and decided to fall asleep instead of finishing it off.
That's the cap space right now.
All right. Cap space, they're projected at $7,108,000. If we get rid of, you said Turris and who?
Turris and Bonino.
And Turris and Bonino are currently.
All right, so Bonino has.
Turris is looking at a 2019-2020 a $6 million, and then
Craig
Bonino
Smith is looking at a 2019-2020 of
$4,250,000, so $4.25 million.
And Bonino is looking at $4.1 million.
That would be enough to get us a bring in. Don't just take the money and stink like they do in a lot of other leagues.
All right, so
how do I got a hair on my glass? Don't mind me, people. I want to take a sip out of my soda, and I got a hair in my cup. I'm shedding. I'm getting my summer coat.
Anyway, and PK carries a $9 million contract.
Yeah, well, I don't want PK to go. I like PK.
A lot of people do, and a lot of people want him gone.
Like I said, he was hurt. That's probably why a lot of the overreaction fans are saying get rid of him. They don't understand that the dude was hurt.
Here's the other thing that kicks in this year. Pekka's contract goes from $7 million to $5 million.
7 to 5?
Yeah. His contract went from $7 million to $5 million.
Why do I keep seeing Carrie Underwood ads?
Yeah, Carrie Underwood.
Who's she? June 20th, Pfizer Forum. Okay. What? I have no issue with Carrie Underwood's music. Sue me. I like female country artists.
Yeah, way to go, you Taylor Swift fan.
Bite me. I liked her before she became a pop princess.
Anyway, so adding in that, Bonino and Craig Smith would open up just as much cap space as getting rid of Turris or PK. Now, my thing is say you give up Bonino and Craig Smith for a guy like Matt Hoffman now, you are only opening up.
Wait, Matt Hoffman? I thought he died.
Wait.
I'm thinking of the bicycle, the BMX guy, Matt Hoffman. You know, the X Games dude?
Yes, I'm talking about the hockey player now.
Okay.
Anyway, he carries a $5 million contract, but he was alliance mates with Kyle Turris the last time they went into the playoffs and made a run, and they were very good. And matter of fact, Kyle Turris had an all-time point high while being on the line with Hoffman. So to reunite, that might be a good. As long as Hoffman agrees to the no movement clause.
And if he's cap friendly, because you don't want to get hit with a luxury tax, dude.
Well, they're still under the cap by $7.1 million. So adding $1 million and losing, so say even if you just give up Craig Smith, you're still taking $1 million on. You give up Craig Smith and Bonino, you're losing $3 million, and you go up to 10. So now you have $10 million. Now you what the projected cap space for next year is 78.
Now, all these cap numbers are based on the current salary cap. There is still a possibility of the cap going up for anybody that might want to ask us that question.
And for the answer to that question of what may the salary cap be,
TV rights.
It does come down to some things, but I do have a potential answer for you. That answer comes with this. So they've said on numerous pages, ESPN,
I was gonna say, could you
TSN,
name a couple of these pages?
ESPN,
try to give
TSN,
credit.
Cap Friendly also said it, which is one of the pages.
That's one of his favorite sites. In fact, he's currently using Cap Friendly as we speak.
Yep, it helps me keep an eye on what teams are in the luxury, what teams aren't. Minnesota was in the luxury this year. Columbus was in the luxury this year. Ottawa was in the luxury this year. Anaheim was in the luxury this year. Basically, there were a few teams that didn't make the playoffs that were in the luxury. Detroit was in the luxury this year.
Yeah, I wonder why.
So there's just a lot that goes with
Oh, you mean the
that.
Detroit Griffins? Or are we talking about the Grand Rapids Red Wings? Or did I say that completely backwards? It was
Anyway.
supposed to be... Whoops, it was supposed to be a joke. Put my snot ready.
Anyway, adding in those, it would be helpful. Now, Craig Smith's contract's up at the end of this season. I do not see the Predators re-signing him for what they paid him initially. There's no way Craig Smith gets more than $3 million. I think they paid him at that time, thinking he was because he had a good year and he got cashed in on it. But I mean, he's making just as much as Victor Arvidsson. So I think guys are going to start taking pay cuts.
How likely is it that they'll take a pay cut?
It's likely to take a pay cut if you want to win a cup. It's just like in any team that has any league that has a cap. You got to take a pay cut.
Yeah, but all pro athletes want to make the most money they can. Some leagues, that's more important than a championship.
Well, in hockey, most kids grow up wanting to put their name on a cup.
Yeah, true that. Because like in the NBA, most kids just want to party with rappers and live in a big house. They use basketball to get there.
Exactly. So it's just
hey, I'm taking a shot at the NBA. What do you know?
Outside of Giannis, that man's just a different
But it's
animal.
the truth, though. I speak the truth. And I dare somebody to prove me wrong about the NBA.
Anyway, our current free agents are... Wait a second, because I do have to open.
Is it necessary to keep tinkering? You like doing that just because you know it bothers me, right?
Nope, I'm actually checking the comments.
Oh.
See?
Nobody's watching on YouTube because they had no clue it was happening.
Actually, I posted about 20 minutes ago.
Oh.
That's what I waited for.
Oh. Well, I announced it on our wrestling page that our wrestling podcast was going to be on YouTube, so maybe more people will pay attention to me and Josh. By the way, my wrestling podcast is up to 81 likes on Facebook ever since we increased the number of people on it. So, yeah, our buddy Josh is helping out with that page. Yeah. We're basically our own sports news website, just minus the website. I mean, in theory, we could technically become a business. So that way people take us more seriously because we're not just run-of-the-mill podcasters. We're an actual sports website business with a podcast.
All right, so right now...
Is that why you said what you said?
Mm-hmm.
I should have known it was some meme. Wait, what the? Hey, there's dead air.
I'm working on it.
Wow.
You have no idea how hard it is when a computer is running slow because you're streaming on two sites, not one.
Oh.
Anyway, under contract for the Admirals this year, available to the Admirals this year. For forwards, we have Colin Blackwell, Lucas Craig, Laurent Dauphin, Adam Haluka, Tanner Janot, Zachary Magwood, Tommy Novak, Matthew Olivier, Joel Pendenza, who's under an AHL contract.
Yep.
Rem Pitlick, Anthony Richard, Hugo Waugh, who is under a 2-year AHL contract, Ilya Tolvanen, Yakov Trenin, and Josh Wilkinson.
I know who all those guys are except Wilkinson. He's the only one that's new to me.
For defensemen, we have Frederick Allard, Alexander Carrier, Donovan, Brandon Fortuno, Scott Savage, who is under an AHL contract.
Who's Fortuna?
He came in at the end of the year, part of those college signings.
Ah. Okay.
Adam Smith, another one of those college signings, and Jared Tenorti, who is our captain.
I was going to say, who in the world is that? Jokingly, I would have said that.
Goaltenders are Troy Grosnick and Nicholas Westerholm.
Who the hell is Westerholm? I know who that is. Like I said, I joke. It's what I do. Remember, I'm the color commentary. You're the play-by-play guy.
Speaking of prospects and those guys, let's get into this part of it all. Yeah, we have to get into our technology part of it all.
I'm only doing this on my... Wait. That was stupid of me.
Why are you doing that when I can do this?
But it's easier for me to read if I have it like that. Because, you know, I'm blind.
Why can't I just do this? Make it bigger. There you go. Look, you can actually see names.
Yeah, but I could do it like this, too.
Yeah, but you have a small phone.
Shut up.
Anyway.
Quit hating on my small Android, you jerk.
Anyway.
See, I could do that, too. All right, anyways, as far as our forwards go, this is good.
This is the Preds preliminary development camp roster. Now, whoever they draft may get added to this roster depending on age.
Yeah.
And depending on whether or not they want to jump to the NHL right away and hopefully try to take a stab at the AHL.
All right, currently on this roster, forwards, we have Ren Pitlick, we have Matthew Olivier, we have Eli Tolvanen, we got Lucas Krabs or Craig. We have Patrick Harper, Josh Wilkins. What is that? Joaquin Kondalik?
Joaquin Kondalik.
And then Ross Armour, Hugo Law, Grant Mismash, Andrew Corhead, Zach Magwood, Tommy Novak, Bobby McMahon, and Tanner Janot.
You know, actually, that's Andrew.
That stands out besides guys that we talked about last season that spent time in Milwaukee.
Actually, Andrew's name, I looked him up earlier.
He's no relation to Vince, I already know.
No, that would be Bobby McMahon.
Oh.
No, I'm referring to Andrew Cohead. It's actually Cockhead.
Cockhead? Wait, really?
Yes.
It's... Dude, you're yanking my chain, man.
No, Elite Prospect actually had it. And
dude, you're yanking my chain, dude. Seriously, as big of a pervert as I am, dude, I'm going to have to censor myself like twice as hard. Shut up. I'm sorry, dude. So you're going to have to censor yourself twice as hard? Let's be professional. Let's keep talking.
About as professional as we can be about perversion.
We'll be PG-13 when the camera's off.
Anyway, our defensemen are Brendan Fortuno, Dante Fabro, Adam Smith, Adam Kashirik, David Farrad, Spencer
Karashik?
Good God, you're from... Okay.
That's how... I'm just going to pronounce it Karashik. Then we got David France, Spencer Young, Spencer Stansny, and Vladislav
Yermenko. As your goalies, you have Nicholas Westerholm, Thomas Vamaka, and Milan Kluchek. The Predators have released the rights.
Wait, how do I know Kluchek?
NHL 19.
Yeah. I knew Kluchek. I knew I recognized that name.
Kluchek could be ready to go anytime now because he's.
And when is this camp started? We have to tell them so that way they can pay attention as well as us, or just pay attention to our videos and we'll keep you updated.
I believe it starts June 25th, but don't quote me on that one. It's on the
Predator development camp, eh?
It would be helpful.
Screw it. I'll let you do it. Probably go a lot quicker.
Development camp. Yes, the 25th through the 29th. So me and him are going to be very busy the last weekend of June.
Yeah, and we're also going to be doing live draft coverage next week on Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
So tune in for that. We're going to get really aggravated, and we're going to probably lose our voice.
And be very bored.
Yeah, because we're going to be doing a lot of talking.
All right.
Okay, so what are we talking about now?
Draft.
All right, now we're going to break down.
Nothing's changed.
The what?
Nothing's changed since our video from 3 weeks ago. Literally, the projected picks have not changed at all.
When was the last video we did?
For the draft?
Yeah. That was last week when we did the last hockey video, right?
Yes, and nothing changed in that time.
Yeah, so pretty much if you want to find out anything about the who picks who and who's projected to go where, watch our previous videos. And if you're watching us on YouTube, check us out on Facebook from Milwaukee to Nashville. Got to plug it as much as we can. We got to grow it. We got to grow our brand.
So adding in, remember I talked about Spencer Knight. He is projected to go to number 13 for the Florida Panthers. Now the Florida Panthers have consistently sent interest about Matthias Ekholm lately.
But who would they be able to give up? Who would they have to give us to get Ekholm from us?
Matt Hoffman. And we'd have to swap first round picks.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd move from 24th
to
11th or 13th to 13th.
I'd do it. The move up in the draft, hell yeah.
The priors, I still am kind of like iffy on it because this kid in the second round that's set to go.
Is there anybody in the first round that could potentially move up in draft position? Like as far as players, do you think anybody's draft stock would go up, enticing somebody to pick them earlier?
Well, that was the case of Cole Caulfield. Remember early right after we got knocked out, I was talking about Cole Caulfield. And then all of a sudden, Cole Caulfield lit it up in the World Juniors, and it was all,
So is he like the only one that you feel?
At this time, yes.
Okay. So basically, where you're projected to go, most likely, that's where you're projected to go.
Here's the thing. After the top two, it's a crapshoot.
Well, most drafts are, but...
Unlike next year's, where they were saying next year's NHL draft will be the best NHL draft in 3 decades.
Yeah, no, I heard that. Like, the whole first round is supposed to be like can't-miss guys. I'm actually looking forward to covering that draft. This draft, not so much.
I mean, even when
that's sad. I downplay the draft every year, but even next year is enticing for me to pay attention to.
Here's how...
Wait, do we have any first-rounders next year?
We have ours.
That's it?
Yeah. And they have the Predators just getting into the playoffs.
Well, that's good because you guys just got in that first year I was a fan, and look at what happened. You came within 1 win away from the Stanley Cup. I'm going to keep rubbing it in because, I know it hurts. But my team doesn't even come close. So, I'll rub it in there too.
You just like rubbing it, don't you?
Shut up. Hey, try to keep it PG, idiot. We just got good news from our buddy Robert. Don't make the powers that be say hell no. And bing. I'm not trying to say it because we're going to surprise our viewers
with that eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So there are a lot of good players in the undrafted market. Okay. So the undrafted market, one of the guys I really like are Boston Blues. He is a 6'3" goalie.
He's 214 pounds.
And he
currently plays for the Edmonton Oil Kings in the WHL.
Yes, and he's going undrafted. He's not going to get drafted.
Or he's projected not to go. Is there a chance he could sneak into the last round?
Yeah. All right, and same thing goes for Jackson Bellamy. He plays for Sherbrooke. He's 6'3" defenseman. I've always liked taller defensemen. Don't know why. Kind of old school with that.
I gotta keep my mouth shut. Just keep going. Just keep going.
And then you have a right winger named Judd Caulfield. Probably relations to Cole Caulfield, but he's set to be undrafted. He's a right winger.
What position is he?
A right wing.
Okay, and where does he currently play?
He plays for the U.S. Under-17 National Development Program.
Okay.
And you have Tag Bertuzzi, who plays for the Gulf Storm.
Bertuzzi?
Yes. That name sounds familiar.
I was going to say, any relation to a certain guy named Todd Bertuzzi?
Yeah, I hate that man.
I'm sure you do, but he wasn't that bad of a player. Maybe as a person, you might have got rubbed the wrong way by him, but still.
Actually, no, I have a problem whenever you try to intentionally take out a player on the ice.
Oh, yeah. Dirty players do deserve to get the boot. Or, in hockey terms, the ice skate up the butt.
Go all Adam Sandler and try and take your skate off and stamp somebody. What's up, Tim?
Hey, Tim. How's it going?
So that's what we have for that draft. I mean, right now there's not much left for us to talk about. Our unrestricted free agents right now are Zach Ronaldo, Wayne Simmons, Brian Boyle, and Cody McLeod.
We already know Simmons is leaving, and probably McLeod as well.
That's it. The RFAs, they're probably going to stick around, that being Rocco Grimaldi and Colton Sissons.
I sure hope Rocco stays in Sissons.
They're going to smack the tag on him. That means if you have to pay a certain amount of money before they go, So it's basically when you have a RFA tag and you tag a player, if another team goes, hey, I'll sign you for so-and-so amount of money, the team with the RFA tag can go, I'm going to match this, or
see you later. Here's your walking papers.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's where that goes. As I said, this will be an interesting offseason. We'll have plenty to come.
Next week. Next week's the big one because next week's the draft, and that's when a lot of dominoes are going to fall into place.
Check your messages. We have our thing for our other podcasts. Our other co-hosts trying to get a hold of us.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, sure enough.
So, I will cut this video at that. This has been From Milwaukee to Nashville. I'm Daniel Goodman. This is Christopher Draves. Peace out.
Oh, like us on YouTube. Like us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Tell your friends. Spread the word. Thank you. Gotta promote.
Kill that feed. Now it's time to kill this feed.